So, good evening. I'm Dustin Seaton, the president of Arkansans for Gifted and Talented Education. And with us tonight, Monica Springfield, co-conference chair with Jennifer Park, the other conference chair, for our first ever live AGATE virtual conference. We had hoped to be, as Jennifer just pointed out earlier, we're supposed to be in Little Rock on site this week, but that was pre-COVID, and that was when we were able to shift things back to fall in line with our governor proclamation of Gifted and Talented Awareness Week, which falls the last week of February. We're excited to have our first ever virtual conference next Wednesday, the 24th and 25th of February. So with that being said, we are recording tonight. So if at any point you'll have questions that are not answered, or you have to hop off and you want to come back to this, we'll be sharing out a recording for all of you that are joining us or unable to join us. But as I mentioned earlier, if you have questions for our co-chair conference committee members, you can ask in the Q&A box at the bottom or make comments in our chat box. I'll be moderating tonight because I can tell you, hands down, once we learned that COVID was going to seriously disrupt not only the 2019-2020 school year, but coming this 2020-2021 school year, how we had to monitor and adjust. And I can tell you, Jennifer and Monica were very innovative in how we were monitoring and adjusting for our AGATE conference. And so they've put countless hours since last, I would say, April, doing meetings every couple of weeks with me on Zoom and phone calls and trying to get everything we can to make this one of the best AGATE experiences that you've ever had. So we're excited to turn it over tonight. I'm going to start off with asking, let's see, on the agenda here. This has been a year-long process, I can assure you, but I'm going to turn it over to Jennifer, our conference co-chair, and let us do a walkthrough of the conference day by day. So that way we have some idea of really what to expect and how long you have to, places to go to find access to our AGATE links and so forth. So with that, Jennifer, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, we're going to start out with, and I know it's not in our Sketch platform, but we're on Tuesday night. We decided to do kind of a informal, just kind of social, where you could ask questions and get some answers and kind of visit. So that will be Tuesday night. And that way, if you have any questions about what's going to happen on Wednesday and your links and all that, then we will be able to help you and just visit and, let you know kind of what's going on. And then Wednesday, we'll have our keynotes. If I start freezing, our internet's kind of been in and out, but Wednesday, we'll have our keynotes. So Monica is going to tell us a little bit more about our keynote sessions.
Okay, so the way Wednesday's going to work is we're going to have one keynote per session. So that way we can give all our attention and focus to that one person in their area of expertise. And we'll have those throughout the day. And we're hoping that you can join us for all of them, but we know that sometimes schedules don't allow for that. So fortunately, we will be able to record those sessions and you will have access to those for up to 2 weeks after the conference is over. So we're really excited about that. Dustin, do you want me to share my screen and show the speakers and the schedule? Okay. Just give me 1 second here.
And while Monica's sharing her screen, on Tuesday night, we will close any floor nominations for the elections. So that way we have the ballot finalized for voting for all AGATE members, not just those attending. Paid AGATE members get to vote for the new slate of officers on Wednesday throughout the day from 7:30 to 7:30, just like in Arkansas elections. Arkansas is the only state open for 12 hours from 7:30 to 7:30.
Okay, so we're going to start off with Mr. Brooks at 9 o'clock, 9 to 10, and he's sort of our feel-good, motivational way to kick off our day. So if you've seen him on Facebook, he's funny, and so that's where we're starting with that. And then we're going to really dive into expertise in the field of gifted. And if you've never seen Dr. Jim Delisle, he's phenomenal. He has a lot of information in social emotional learning. And
Monica,
then, yes.
We just see your AGATE webinar conference folder.
Oh, you do? Well, yeah. That's not good. That's not good at all. Okay, I don't know. I wonder why that's not showing up.
We're getting all of our kinks out this week, ladies and gentlemen.
I can share if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't know why that was doing that. That was
Okay.
weird. I'll let you share and then I'll talk.
Well, I just have it like
I
this.
actually
Is
have it
that
in a folder, so. Oh, that's better. I like yours anyways.
did you want the flyer? Because
Yeah, I was trying to go off the flyer.
I mean, we
don't
can do the
have
flyer,
it.
or I can have it.
This works.
Okay, I don't have the flyer handy. I can look for it.
Oh, that's okay. I'll
But
just
here's
keep going.
where you are.
Yeah, I'll just keep going. And so,
Okay.
as we move down, sorry. So, then 10:15, Dr. Delisle will start. And then, I believe we have a lunch break at that point after he speaks.
Yes.
Okay. And then we move into, Lisa Van Gimmert, and she is, been in the field of
Well,
gifted.
call it Seal first.
Oh, Colin
Sorry.
Seal is first. I'm sorry. See, this is why I need my
You're
flyer.
fine.
Okay. Then we have Colin Seal, who is an expert in the field as well. He has he has a book called I just lost the name of the book.
Thinking Like a Lawyer.
Thinking Like a Lawyer. There we go.
Mhm.
So he has a phenomenal story. He was actually a gifted child himself, and so he's going to be very interesting to listen to. And then we have Lisa Van Gimmert, and she's also an expert in the field. I know I keep saying that word over and over, but that was kind of our thoughts on this, was to really try to reach out to speakers we've seen before, speakers that have been recommended to us. She goes by Gifted Guru. She has all things gifted, from social emotional learning to curriculum. So we're excited about her. And then we end our day with.
Sorry.
That's okay. Okay, we're going to end our
John
day.
and Casey.
John Hardison and Casey Nord. And if you've never seen them, and you might not recognize their name, but they are a very engaging duo. John is actually currently an instructional facilitator, and Casey works in higher ed, but they have some really great tools for engaging learners. And Jennifer and I were actually fortunate enough to participate in their session that they held at Wilbur D. Mills Co-op. And we were so impressed with them. We were like, we have to get them. And they have shifted a lot of their things over to virtual. So I think that you're going to find them very engaging. They have a session that's going to be really hands-on. And so we're super excited about them. The strategies they share are perfect for gifted learners, but I will tell you, they work with all learners. Touch on learning styles and different just learning preferences. So we're super excited to have them join us that day. And that kind of takes care of our keynote. Am I supposed to talk about parent sessions, Dustin, or?
Nope, I can. So hopefully you've seen on our website under the flyer, we have 3 of our keynotes that are extending to do a free parent session for all AGATE members, but also our attendees. And so that is something that you can join starting at 6 p.m. We'll do a quick introduction, and we'll start off with Colin Seal, then Dr. Delisle, and then ending the night with Lisa Van Gimmert. So we will offer that for free as well on Wednesday night. But again, that is more designed towards parents, because typically we want parents to come to our AGATE conference, since we are Arkansans for Gifted and Talented Education. We're not just an educator association. So we really encourage you to share that link out with your parents. You can find it on our website, giftedarkansas.org, under the conference section. But we can also share it out again shortly hereafter. So with that being said, that completes a full day of Wednesday. So let's go back to Jennifer then, if you don't mind telling us a little about the breakout session using the SCED platform.
Dustin, sorry to interrupt. Hold on, Jennifer, real quick. We have a question in the chat that says, it states that most of the sessions will be recorded. It's my understanding that all of the keynotes on Wednesday will be recorded, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So that Kim Priest, thank you for that question. That's a great question. It's going to be some of the breakout sessions on Thursday that Jennifer's going to talk a little bit about, and that will just be based on whether a presenter was willing to let us record. But as far as Wednesday, you're covered. So if you're worried about those sessions, don't be, because those will all be recorded and available. Sorry to interrupt. I just thought we might want to address
Good.
that right then.
Good question. And most of the sessions at this point, I have not heard of anyone on Thursday that is not okay with being recorded also on Thursday. So we're planning on all of them being recorded at this point. So our day starts, our first breakout session is at 8 o'clock, and each session is 15 minutes long. So we'll have a breakout session and then a 20-minute vendor break time, and then another another breakout session. So we have some great ones, and you'll notice I love the Sketch platform. And if you haven't gotten into it yet, definitely try to get in soon so you can start registering and signing up for what sessions you want to go to. You'll notice that each one has been sorted by you'll notice the colors, they relate to the PD colors that we have to relate to, the PD section. So you should be able to kind of scroll through and see, okay, I want content or instructional strategies. So they're color coded. So we have, I believe let me see. We have six breakout session times. So the last session ends at 3:25. So you will notice that within this, you can click on, we do have a lunch break right in here. It's not listed on Sketch, but surely you'll know that that's lunchtime. So we have, each session, you'll just click on it and you can register. So you have to make sure you've logged in. So if you haven't logged in, you're not going to be able to register yet for it. And you'll just basically click here to add to your Sketch, and then it will show you everything. So like for me, I've saved 5 things, which are the keynote sessions, I believe, and they've already saved here. So once you do that, then you can email it to yourself, and you'll actually get a daily in the morning before the conference starts. You'll get a reminder on what you've signed up for. So that's just, let's see. Now, so you can scroll through. We also have a program that we're going to be using as well, and that's where it's just going to be the overview and the titles. So it's not going to give all the session descriptions like you would have seen in our old programs. So you'll have to, hold on one second. You'll have to click on that and you can go to the session description. So like you'll go click the link and it will pop up for the Sketch description in that. So that's an easy way also to be able to look back and forth. So there are lots of things for you to look through and kind of pick what you want. Here is where we do have the vendor break times. And I would suggest definitely going through and going to some of our vendors and checking it out and visiting with them, because we will have a door prize. We will have several door prizes, and it's also listed here in your program. You'll have several door prizes. If you fill out, there's a Google form to be able to, which I can't go to it right now. Hang on. There's a Google form where you can just share where you went at what time, and if there's something new you learned, and submit it. And we're going to do Amazon gift cards. That way we can just kind of email them to you. So we'll have Amazon gift cards ranging from like $25 to $100. So definitely please visit some of our vendors, because they have really, stepped out. And a lot of them, some of them, are trying to still learn Zoom, and, so it's been interesting, but we're getting there. So please check them out at any time you can during that break time. Let me go back to Sketch. So again, here are all the sessions, and you can register for however many. And you can do more than one at a time. You just have a 20-minute period. So just remember that. And you may notice that some of them are fuller at certain times. So you can always go back and go to at a different time if you need to. But definitely check them out. So you just click on them like like you're registering for one of your breakout sessions. So it's the same thing. And that's it for me for this day. And then we have all of our breakouts, and then we'll have the AGATE Awards that evening. And I know Dustin's going to talk about that.
And Jennifer, we did have a question from an attendee about where can we find access to our SCED account?
You should have received an email. If you didn't, you can, if you'll send me your name or put it in the chat, I will look and see if for some reason you didn't get it. Okay. Or get you password reset. So if I'll stop sharing my screen, and then I will look you up and let you know.
And I posted the links for the parent sessions on Wednesday night that you can share out, as well as the award show to registration link. And it's really just the same thing that you're doing now. It's the webinar feature. You can sign in from wherever you are. You can have dinner and so forth. And then I also posted Jennifer's email in case any of you did not receive your registration link to sign into your SCED account. All right. So now moving into on Thursday night, we're really excited because our awards committee has been working diligently for the last, I would say 5-6 months, reading over the nominations. And we have student educators and students and parents from all across the state that are going to be recognized. In addition to every single GT educator this year won the Challenger Award for all your innovation and perseverance and commitment to the education of our gifted and talented youth. So I'll share that tribute video if you haven't seen it already, but we will be watching it during the award show starting at 6 p.m. on Thursday, February the 25th. That's next Thursday. So we're excited to host our awards presentation, which normally is done during lunch, but we'll be doing it in the evening. We'll be doing it Facebook Live for all of our award winners that would like to encourage friends and family to join in. We'll be doing a recognition of our retiring GT educators, because we know we lost some over the last school year due to COVID. And so we will hopefully not lose many at the end of this school year, but we know people want to retire and we want to recognize those individuals. So we have our scholarship winners, our retirees, our award winners, and then the election results, which will be announced live on February the 25th as well. And I believe, in speaking of the activities for that evening, we also will be afterwards. The award show should be done by 7 o'clock. So we start at 6. We should be done very, very shortly thereafter. And at 7 o'clock, our very own Jeopardy trivia master, Jake Allen, will be hosting trivia, which will be just for fun. It will be the kind of the fun way to conclude our virtual experience with some door prizes as well. So you can win door prizes by attending vendors. You can win door prizes by playing trivia. And then we also have some other activities that we will announce shortly thereafter, where you can do some more door prizes. But next, we're going to talk a little bit more about our Student Engagement Day, because that's something brand new. We've always tried to embed student activities into AGATE, and we know that it's obviously going to be difficult during socially distant COVID era. So we are going to share this document.
So can you see this?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I've solved the puzzle. Okay, so I'm super excited about this. This was a collaborative effort, but this was sort of my baby to take over, and I'm really excited to get students involved. I'm thankful for those AGATE board members that are going to be facilitating these rooms, and teachers. I know you'll be thankful for that as well, because that means that you can give your kids the Zoom link and you can let them go into what they're interested in. And if you have multiple kids in multiple places, it will be fine, because there will be an adult in there facilitating the room along with the presenter. And so basically the setup for this is there will be a Zoom room with a live link, and this document will go out to you. And then you can see in each of the time slots, we have a different activity for students. And we have different focus areas of each Zoom room. And so like our first Zoom room is virtual field trips. And so there's lots of different field trips that kids can participate in. So if maybe from 9 to 9:50, they're interested in learning about the old State House, then that's something they can do. Then they can look and find a different activity for the 10 to 10:50 time slot. We wanted to give a lot of flexibility. We wanted to try to touch on a lot of different areas, and we wanted to target a lot of different grade levels. So if you do not see a grade level tied to that activity, that means that that presenter did not have a certain grade level to focus on. If you do see a grade level, we are asking that only students in those grade levels, because the content and the information the presenter will be sharing will be targeted to that grade level. So you can look through here. We have a game room. We know how those kids that just need to have kind of that affective connection, so they can get on there, and we have a Roblox Minecraft activity that's going to go on, and we have Star Wars trivia. So if we have any kiddos that are interested in Star Wars, we're going to have a digital escape room. One thing I will share about this, when you see things that are double blocked, that was because either the presenter needed more time, or the activity was just going to be too big to fit in one time slot. And we know that this one runs through lunch. And so we're working with the presenter to make sure that kids have a pause, so they can either have their lunch with them, and they can certainly eat as they participate. We're excited to be partnering with Marie Bruno and the Yes competition. So that's going to be happening throughout the day. So if you're a teacher and you've never done Yes competition, this would be a great opportunity for you to pop in and kind of see what Yes is all about, and even have some of your students that might say, hey, we've thought about doing this. And if you're not sure what Yes stands for, it's Youth Entrepreneur Showcase, and it's all about writing a business plan and coming up with a great business idea. Then we're going to have student workshops. We're going to focus on everything from social emotional to respectful dialogue. And then we even have partnered with some instructors from ASMSA that are going to dig into writing poetry. And then even the French instructor is going to be exploring Paris. So we're just excited to have all these different opportunities. And so teachers, we wanted to include you as well. So we're going to have kind of a teacher's lounge. And our hope for that is that you just get in there and maybe you can connect with someone from across the state. You know, how are you doing things digitally, or what cool curriculum have you come up with, or what great technology trick do you have? So it's just going to be kind of an open room to pop in and out and try to connect with others across the state. We also have some interest topics and activities. And I will tell you, I'm super excited about this one. If you get a chance to be part of John and Casey on Wednesday, they're going to do that and let the teachers be engaged in it. But then they're actually going to go through it on Friday with your kids. And so it's an awesome opportunity to participate as a teacher and see what this activity is about. And then let someone else facilitate it with your kids, and then let your kids get involved. And then maybe that's something you can bring back into the classroom. We also have a historian that's going to talk to us about the 1918 influenza outbreak, and we have a museum that's going to be there. So we're so excited about this day. There's a lot of different things to get involved in. We do have some asynchronous activities. So these will just be, sometimes it's hard to schedule a time to really sit down and get engaged in something that you're interested in listening to or working through. And so we have some of our webinars for teachers. We have some of those student webinars. And then we also have just some recommended podcasts from some of our AGATE leaderships, things they've used with students, or things they've listened to themselves that have been very interesting. So lots of different activities. Again, you'll just make sure that your kids have access, maybe go through this with them and say, okay, what are you doing in this time slot? What are you doing in this time slot? And they can just connect to a Zoom room. They'll be let in, the activity's over, they'll be let out, and then they can go on to their next thing. So I'm really excited about this. I hope you are too. And we kind of left it as open and flexible as possible. And so we're hoping that you guys will get lots of your kids involved, and love to get some great feedback from teachers and students on what they think about this day.
Yeah, thanks, Monica. And she's about to transition over to her debut of the bingo card, which will also be in our program. But while she's doing that, I'll answer the two questions we got in the Q&A because I'm sure others may have questions similar. One question was, if we are interested in sessions at the same time, can we view the other sessions for the next 2 weeks? And yes, you can. We will be recording them all, and then the links will be embedded into the program or into the Sched software. So instead of where it's like the Zoom link, it will be the YouTube link that will be an unlisted YouTube for all of our participants. So, but it will be emailed out the Monday after the conference because we want to give everybody a chance to take a break. The 2 weeks was what we decided upon with many of our speakers, but we also didn't want to leave it open-ended forever because otherwise it'd be like a one and done type thing. But with that said, I want to let Monica now debut her bingo board.
Can you see the bingo board?
Yes, we can.
Yes, I'm 2 for 2. Yes. Okay. So one of my jobs on the board is also publicity chair. And so one thing that I wanted to do here was have just something kind of fun to happen during the conference. And so with this being virtual, it's really hard to come up with some things. So we're going to do this AGATE Conference bingo. And it's just to get you a little more engaged and kind of challenge you to maybe do some different things during the conference. And so you don't have to black the card out. We're just looking for just a bingo, any direction. And like if you met a coordinator you didn't know before, you could check that off. If you were in a Zoom room with a colleague, you can check that off. And once you get those 5 things checked off, then what you're going to do is you're going to email. You can just print out the card, or if you have some way of marking it digitally, there's a place for your name and your school district. Please first name and last name, because we know that we've had people in the past that have the same name and we want to make sure we have the right person. And so if you get a bingo, then you're by 4 p.m. on Thursday, you're going to want to email this card to webmaster@giftedarkansas.org, and I will actually get a copy of the card, and so will Dustin. And so we'll make sure we have everybody's names, but we're going to actually draw 2 cards. We're going to, 2 names for a $100 Amazon gift card. And I'm super excited about that because you know how much stuff is on Amazon. So just go through and look at these and kind of make a plan. It encourages you to collaborate, encourages you to talk to vendors, to ask questions to presenters, and to discover new resources and new ideas that you can use. And so this will be going out. Dustin, what's the plan for this going out? Is it this week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jennifer has already got it loaded to the program, which we'll be sharing out this week. But we'll be doing a single bingo, so that way you can have it ready to go. I know Monica's done a lot of work to make sure that it's just a regular bingo, right, Monica?
Yeah, just a regular bingo. So you'll just look at it, and I mean, if you get these top 5 across, then you've got bingo, just a normal bingo. We're not doing like any certain pattern or where you black the whole bingo card out. I just wanted to make it something kind of fun and maybe challenge you to try some of these things. Maybe wouldn't always ask a question to a presenter, but if it would give you bingo and give you a chance to maybe be entered for the $100 gift card, I just thought it might be something fun as we're going through our conference to get you engaged in the conference.
Yeah, and so you have until Thursday at 4 p.m. The award show starts at 6. We'll have hopefully all of them. If you've emailed webmaster@giftedarkansas a picture or you can scan it. Monica will enter your name, and then we'll enter it on the wheel of names that we'll do a live drawing to make it fun and fair for those $100 Amazon gift cards. We also got a question in the chat. Where's the link to register for the Student Engagement Day?
So there's actually not a registration. What's going to happen is that document that I was sharing will go out to you, and then all you'll have to do is just click on whatever Zoom room during whatever time block of the activity you're interested in participating. So you can just kind of plan that with your kids and then just make sure they have access to those links. I just wanted to kind of keep it simple because I knew that some coordinators might have multiple grade levels and multiple students. So there isn't a formal registration, and that way you have flexibility to jump into whatever session is most interesting.
Yeah,
that answered that, Dustin?
I think so. If not, we can do a follow-up question in the chat or the Q&A box. I will be emailing that live document out this week. We were going to do it today, but we had one minor change, and I don't want to send out anything that's going to be incorrect. We want you to have the most active information possible.
I'm noticing another question. So if we're interested in sessions, we kind of answered that, but a follow-up. So if we're interested, we can view the other session for the next 2 weeks. Yes. So all the sessions on Thursday at this point are all going to be recorded. So you're fine with that. Now, follow up, are the links for people who registered for the AGATE conference or just those that registered in SCED for a specific breakout session? You'll still be able to go. We're going to do two things. I'm going to change in SCED. I'm going to change the Zoom link to the YouTube link. So after the session has ended, once we get them uploaded to YouTube, those links where they were the Zoom, there'll be the YouTube link. So you should be able to still click on it. So you can do it that way. Or we're also going to add a link within within our screen. Let me share the screen so you can within something like, hang on, like this. So when we go to the session grid, the session schedule. So as of right now, the links are sending you straight to your Sketch. But once I will make another copy of this, and I will have a link that will lead you to the YouTube video link. So that should answer your question. You should still be able to get to it from Sketch, but this is also going to be another option. So if that's what you want to do, I hope I answered that question good enough. I think so. All right. Am I up?
Well, we have one more question in the chat or in the Q&A box. One of our participants asked about the presenting, or will all be presented via Zoom? Because when they receive their Zoom links, would they be able to present with Nearpod? Because I believe that Nearpod is compatible with Zoom. So yes, all of our, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jennifer, all of our presentations for our breakout sessions are via Zoom.
Yes, via Zoom. So yes. And if you were a presenter, I think that was Jane or if you're a presenter and you didn't see the session, the ones that we had today, we had a couple Zooms earlier for presenters. We have those recorded and we'll be sending those out as well. Basically, you will just get in and we'll have all the Zoom link and everything set up for you. So you'll be good to go. But definitely check out that the recording that we'll send you here probably tomorrow.
And the follow-up to that question was, will there be a place to upload our presentations ahead of time?
Yes. So within Sketch, and I know that we kind of mentioned it in the webinar or the Zoom earlier, but once you get into it, you can, if you're the actual presenter, you can add files. So as you go through and you're attending things, you can add, if you're a presenter, you can add files here. But when you're actually attending a session, you'll notice that some of these already have handouts already attached. For example, like the Jody Mahoney Center, they have already attached files. So you can click on it and you'll notice when you go down to the bottom that these are their files that they've already uploaded. And I know that Barbara Hinton with Inventors Hall of Fame, she's already uploaded a few things too. So those will stay. So if you're watching it, if you want to watch a session later and it's already happened, you would still need to go to this if you want the handouts. Okay. Because we're not going to be able to email the handouts again, but definitely check out if you have handouts, it'll be in this. Okay.
And I'm sorry, one more thing I forgot to mention about the bingo card. I noticed on our agenda you had, when will results be announced? It'll be during the award ceremony. I don't know if I mentioned that. And Dustin will just give me a time frame to announce those. So, and at this point, I don't believe that you have to be present to win. We're just gonna, if you complete the card and you turn it in, we're gonna call it good and put your name in the drawing. So. And I'll reach out to those two Amazon gift card winners and make sure that I get in contact with them. So I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. And I just looked back to make sure I covered all my checks, covered all my to-do list checks. So
And we may end up doing the same with the vendor door prize form as well. If you guys think that that leaves enough time for people to submit for that, that might be the same plan for that as well. So if you visit a vendor, be sure to fill out your form that day.
And you have 4 opportunities throughout Thursday to attend of the vendor sessions. They're 20 minutes. You can just hop in, say hello, hear their elevator pitches, and then hop out. We also understand that being on a Zoom all day is not fun. So we're trying our best to provide multiple breaks throughout the day. And again, if you just feel like you've had it and you can't do anymore, you will have the option to watch these recording on demand for the next 2 weeks, starting on March the 1st. But with having attended a virtual national conference in November through NAGC, I learned very quickly that it is tiresome, and that sometimes you need to make sure that you are being mindful and committing to the task. You're not doing emails or doing virtual learning lessons or AMI lessons with your kids or your students at home. So with that said, Jennifer Park has done an outstanding job with this how-to guide for virtual norms that we will also include in our program. But Jennifer, I'll let you take it.
Okay, of course, just be mindful, just like Dustin said, don't multitask. Just try to enjoy the presentation, take notes. You'll notice that I'll go kind of through the program as this pertains to it, but take notes. This year, the program I've did it a little bit differently. You'll notice, just for me, I thought this would be helpful with, here's a link, here's like the last session. So you can pick any of these. And I made just I took some notes from what Texas Gifted Conference did, and this was similar to theirs. And they just kind of had a note sheet about things that you learned or something that kind of stood out and how we use this in your classroom. So this will be helpful, hopefully, if you can do it. But I thought, some pointers as to kind of keeping your mind on track. Then secondly, if you need help, we have lots of people that are able to help. So there's all of our contact information. Bill Shelley, if you have any technology questions, scheduling for me, and Monica with the student engagement piece, and Dustin, anything else that you can think of. Be sure to mute your microphone. That's always helpful, especially during breakout sessions. During the keynote sessions, you won't have to worry about it because it's going to be on a webinar basically like this. So you won't have to worry about that part. Be present, turn on your camera if possible, please. I know that there are lots of people that are presenting and sometimes, it's kind of when you have a whole lot of just no faces and you can't get any interaction. So definitely try to turn on your camera when possible. Be sure to check out your schedule and make sure you know kind of what you're going to attend so that you don't miss anything. And also in your program, you'll notice that there's a session tracker. So which sessions do you want to view later? So kind of keep up with, oh man, I can't do that one because I'm already doing this session. So you can kind of keep a running list of what you might want to check out later on demand. Then use speaker view on Zoom. It's easier to pay attention rather than the gallery view. You can rename your screen, make sure it matches your name so that we know that you are getting credit for this. Ask questions, make comments, just interact as much as possible with the presenter. A lot of the presenters, still are maybe kind of unsure about, because this is a whole new game. Most people present at AGATE, yes, that's great, but to actually present a session on Zoom that's going to be recorded and people can watch it for 2 weeks later, that's kind of a scary thing. So definitely try to make your presenter or your speaker kind of feel welcome and engaging. Utilize the participant list, nonverbal interactions. That's also a way to get information and share. Stick with your choices. Try not to bounce around from Zoom room to Zoom room. All of these are going to be recorded. So, try to pick one that sounds the best, and you can always check out another one later. We are going to be we're trying to work on the PD portion of this and figuring out how you will get your PD credit. So a lot of times we are looking at the sessions and what you're registered for. So you'll notice like here, I could click and I could see who all is going to this particular session. So we're trying to kind of use that to help us get information on figuring out and our sign-in sheets. So this is helpful. So if you haven't already logged in and registered and set up what you want to go visit, then or what sessions you want to attend, try to start doing that so that people can kind of have an idea. That would be helpful. And so that's just the basic how-tos and just some information that hopefully you will do for our conference. And I was just going to kind of skim through the program really quickly. I showed you the session tracker. That's just for you. This is the one we always have, and it's the PD. And this is going to basically be for you if you want to turn in for PD, so that you have you can show what sessions you went to, and we will be keeping up with the PD based on who is attending. So you won't have to turn in a form to us. Okay.
And Jennifer, we have a question. When will we get access to the program?
I am finishing up one part of the awards, and then you should have it. We'll probably send it out tomorrow. So you'll have it within the next couple of days.
I know going to NAGC or an AGATE conference in the past, that's some of the most exciting times. You're flipping through to see and circle the ones you want to go to. So we want to give that to you in ahead of time, but it'll have hopefully those live links embedded in there. So we're coming up on the 7:45 marker, and we understand there's probably lots of excitement because I'm excited for it. We've been doing this for a year, so it's like watching your baby grow up. So if there are any other questions that we have not answered already, we want to encourage you to ask in the Q&A box or in the chat. We definitely want to make sure that we encourage y'all to visit the vendors, because they have made a special effort to provide Zoom links to talk with you. So it's part of the bingo board. There's a special door prize just for going to the vendors. But at the same extent, at the end of the day, we want feedback. We want to know what we did right and what we can do better for AGATE 2022. So we will be sending out the eval after the conference, hopefully when all the live links for the recordings are embedded in the document. And we want your honest feedback. What did you like? What did you not like? And what would you like to see for AGATE 2022? Because I have a secret that is not, I guess the AGATE board knows, but Monica and Jennifer are going to be our conference co-chairs again for AGATE 2022 when it's going to be up in Northwest Arkansas.
What? We didn't sign up for that.
It's recorded.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Sorry, I was frozen.
By the way, the student engagement piece and the bingo card will be part of the program. So you will get a separate email with those things, but also if you're not sure, they'll be in the program as well. Just want to make mention one more time.
The conference program does look amazing. Thank you, Tim. We know Jennifer's put a lot of work into that. We also know, just as a technicality point, that online issues are something you can't always prepare for. So we have been talking with our facilitators to make sure that, one, they do record, but if you happen to be in a session and you notice it's not being recorded, send a message to the presenter or the facilitator and say, hey, I don't see the recording in the upper left-hand corner, and remind them. We would love that, because we don't want any sessions to find that out at the very end as a surprise. But at the same extent, we know people get sick, that technology fails and falters. So we can't promise that everything's going to run smoothly, but we've asked our presenters to have a backup plan so that if they don't have electricity or they do get sick, that maybe we'll have a recording of them doing their presentation ahead of time. But that's not a requirement. It was just something we've been suggesting. But we would appreciate if you see something right now that we might not have discussed or thought about, please feel free to reach out to Jennifer or Monica and offer some suggestions, because we still have 8 days, but I promise you that a lot of work has been put into this conference. All right, I think we're done unless there are any other lingering questions. We always got to wait for the people to unmute, but they don't have to unmute. They just need to type their questions in the chat. We appreciate all the positive feedback. The accolades all go to Jennifer and Monica. They've done all the hard work, literally night and day, and they're probably tired of me emailing and text messaging and phone calling. So I'm surprised they signed up for it another year. Thank y'all for pushing the parent pieces. We get a lot of thanks, but we'll stick on for a little bit. I'm going to stop recording.